Hello, cozy friends. Happy fall, happy fall, happy fall. I felt like it was finally time for me to crawl out of my cozy game rec retirement and start providing some cozy game recommendations again and some cozy game lists again and some cozy games I'm looking forward to again. Will they be on a specific timeline? No. Will they just be when I'm excited to talk about things? Yes, absolutely. So I wanted to share my cozy game recommendations for the fall, and I've been doing this for years, and it's so fun every year, but it's also especially fun for me to see the games that get added to the list each year, because I have my classics that I'll always go back to, I'll always recommend, but it's really fun to see when specifically more fall games start coming out in the cozy gaming genre. I feel like we've been seeing more and more, and it's really cool to see, and I hope more and more come out, because I feel like there's only a small handful that are like explicitly fall themed and fall related, and I would love a little bit more explicitly fall games. But anyways, these are all of the cozy games that are fall related, fall adjacent, fall vibes, witchy vibes, Halloweeny vibes, spooky vibes, all of that. Also, just a disclaimer, this is just a roundup from research that I've done and from the games that I've played myself. So little roundup just means it's here for you to try if you would like. Please always do your own research. Please always look up gameplay videos before buying games. This is just a recommendation for the themes of fall. Okay, glad we got that out of the way. Let's get into it. Let's jump into it. Okay, so we're going to start with the categories that I've broken these up into. The first is full send fall, and that means this is just a fully fall game. Like, it is set in the fall. There are strong fall elements. The next category is fall elements. So these are games where there's something in the game that hints at fall. There's something in the game that you would find in fall time. Coffee, taverns, vampires. You see what I mean? It's not like explicitly fall, but you're finding elements that would also be in fall, which give it a fall feel. The next category is whispers of fall. Whispers of fall. This is like, really, there's nothing explicitly fall about this, but it's giving like a fall vibe, right? It's fall adjacent. There's whispers of fall. It's like somebody literally whispered fall over the game and you're like, oh, I see it, I see it, I see it. That's this category. The next category is witchy. All of the games that are witchy, which kind of inherently fit into fall because witches in fall, but there's so many witchy games, so witchy. The next category is fall is a season. These are my favorite games in which fall is a season. And then the last category is eerie or scary. Yeah. Self-explanatory on that one. Okay, let's jump right into full send fall category. The first is Fall of the Porcupine. This is a narrative adventure game where you're following the main character who works in healthcare. It has a lot of fall elements, but it has more of a heavier topic, more of a serious storyline to it. So like slightly less cozy, but at the end of the day though, I always feel like narrative games are pretty cozy. It's like sitting down, curling up and reading a book. Not all books are happy and sunshine, lollipops and rainbows, and that doesn't mean that it's not a cozy experience. So Fall of the Porcupine, narrative, platforming elements, but the story is really driving most of this game here. Next is Beacon Pines. I think Beacon Pines is so unique. It adds this choose your own adventure, narrative adventure as well, but you really can like go back and see how your actions made a difference and then change them if you want, and change those choices and then have a different outcome. Mechanics here in terms of like the butterfly effect or like your choices have an impact. It's cutesy, it's kind of silly, but it's also very interesting and it's really engaging, and it makes you want to go back and try different things. It's also not a very like frustrating choose your own adventure. Like the consequences aren't so dire where you're like, no, I ruined everything. And so it's a pretty cutesy, lighthearted fall game. I think this can also be played in the wintertime as well, but some great fall elements here. And when there's a mystery to solve, which there is in Beacon Pines, when there's like a mystery afoot and you're searching for what's going on in this small town, mystery is afoot, that always gets me going. That's a mystery is inherently spooky and cozy and fall, and Beacon Pines has it. Okay, Beacon Pines has it. Next is Night in the Woods. This is another narrative, more platforming in this one. Definitely a half and half narrative platformer, I would say. There's definitely an adventure element. You're platforming around this small town. The small town just has the most fall vibes. There's literally a song in the game called Pumpkinhead Guy. I will say say there is definitely a heavy storyline. It's not like tragically heavy. It's just like very realistically heavy. Regular things young adults are going through, experiencing. There's a question of like, what am I doing with my life? Where are my peers at versus where am I? What do I actually want out of life? Like really questioning those things. It can be very serious, but it's also very touching. Like, especially if you are going through those things, that's a really great thing to be able to feel seen within a game. And so I love that this game touches on those a little bit heavier topics, but it's really not so heavy that you're left feeling like there's a weight on you afterwards. You're feeling a little bit more optimistic because May, the main character, figures it out in her own way. And I think that's great. I also think like the friendship in here is really special. And I think there's a strong takeaway on friendship. So yes, it can be a serious topic, but it can still be a really like fun fall cozy experience. And you can take so much meaning out of narrative games. And I love that. Next is Luigi's Mansion 3. And also bonus, Luigi's Mansion 2 just came out on Switch. They re-released that. Either of these are perfect for fall. You're catching little ghosties. Such a good game to play co-op. It takes a little bit to get to the part where you can do co-op. So there's a little bit of like, I would say 15 to 25 minutes that you have to play before you can unlock Gooigi, which is how you play co-op. But once you do, it's so much fun, and there's hours and hours and hours and hours of gameplay to play with somebody. It's also super fun to play by yourself. So hours of like exploration. Yes, you're just like catching ghosts. That's the core game goal here, is like you catch all the ghosts, and then there's boss battles and stuff. But there's also this exploration element that I really love. If you're someone who's like a completionist and loves to check every nook and cranny and just explore and goof around, and you're not set on like getting from point A to B, I think this is a game you'll really love, because there's like these themed gems you're finding on each floor. There's all of the boos that you're finding, and you can go back after you finish and defeat all the bosses and like completely finish the game. You can go back and find all of those. It just adds more and more hours to the game of just exploring and having fun, especially if it's co-op and you're playing with a partner or a friend. And perfect to get in the mood for the fall spookier seasons, but it's like not scary at all. It's not scary at all. That's why it's not even in the eerie category. It's simply not scary. They're cute little ghosts that you're catching, and I was never jump scared the whole time. It's very cute. The next is Don't Starve Together, which is a survival game that is thematically very fall in like macabre, spooky, almost like Tim Burton-esque style. It's nothing like actually spooky or eerie, or it would be in the spooky eerie category. It's just this really cool art style, and you're working together co-op online to not starve together. I think elements of like resource collecting and regular survival elements of a game, but you're working together to stay alive, and you can play with people you don't know. You can play with people you do know. The thing that's really cool about this, and it was almost intimidating when I first opened the game, was there's like so much customization for a server. So if you're like hosting a server, there's so much customization. I will say also, if you don't like survival games to be too difficult, there's like a free play mode on this where if you die, there's no consequences. And then there's like a peaceful mode where the elements don't even affect you and you can kind of just resource collect. So I like the customization there. I think that's really nice and really great for bringing some people into the fold that might not be gamers this fall, but you want to introduce them to something a little fun and see if maybe they'll get into gaming with you. I think this might be a good one, and start off on like peaceful mode and just let everybody kind of run around. Okay, our next category is fall elements. First is Voltaire the Vegan Vampire. This came out recently and I think it is so cute. It's such a cute idea. So Voltaire is one of Dracula's sons, like estranged sons. He runs away from Transylvania and Dracula's commanding force, and he's like, no, I don't want to be a vampire. I'm going to be a vegan. I'm going to grow my own crops. And Dracula is sending all of his minions to sabotage the operation. He's like, no, you've got to come back. You've got to be the vampire you're meant to be. And so during the day, you're growing crops, you're resource collecting. At night, you're defending your crops from Dracula's minions. So it's kind of roguelite in the sense that at night, you're like constantly up against the enemies, and then during the day, you're farming. So you do have to kind of like that balance of roguelite and farming. But I think that's such a like clever idea. I love that. And again, vampire, fall, it'll get you in the mood. The next one is Winkledesh. I don't know how to pronounce this. Someone told me once and it immediately left my mind. I think it's Dutch or something, but it is a tavern simulator, and I just think a tavern is like the perfect fall setting. It doesn't matter if fall is actually afoot here. I don't know if fall cooked here at all, but someone cooked here and it's a tavern, and that makes it cozy, and I think that's perfect for fall. Running a little tavern during the fall, yes! sign me up. It's giving legends and lattes. It's giving bookshops and bone dust. It's giving a little D&D campaign set in the fall. Like I love a tavern. I think it's perfect for fall. So Tavern Simulator right here for you. Next is Bear and Breakfast. This one I actually didn't love, but I am including it because some people did love it. It's just like a love-hate game. I think there's always going to be games like that. I just didn't love it. I thought the pacing was kind of odd, but I'm including it anyways. Bear and Breakfast is not explicitly fall, but it's a bear and it's cozy and you're in the forest. And I think there are some definite fall elements to this. Being a little bear in the forest, it's just kind of giving fall. I don't know what to tell you. It's giving fall. Just the coziness of it, the forest animals that you run into, the ability to like customize your bed and breakfast, all of that. It's very cozy. It's very fall. Try at your own risk. Like I said, always do your own research and watch gameplay videos. Like watch at least like 20 to 30 minutes of gameplay. You don't have to watch that much, but like watch someone do 20 to 30 minutes and like skip around and see if you would actually like the pacing and the mechanics of the game before you buy a game and waste your money. I have done that too many times and I should have just like watched some damn gameplay. Okay. Next is Coffee Talk. Coffee Talk 1, I think, is a little more fall adjacent than Coffee Talk 2. However, they're both phenomenal games. So cozy, just a barista simulator essentially, but then you have narrative elements where you're learning about the characters that you're serving and there's so much story and lore in there. But I love the like pixel style of it all. It makes it extra cozy and you can like experiment with drinks. You can do just a free drink experimentation mode, or you can do the story mode where you're like serving actual drink orders. But either way, Coffee Talk is so perfect for fall. Cozy little drinks. Are you kidding me? So fall. I'm gonna calm down. I promise. Next is Cult of the Lamb. The cultiness, the occult setting, the occult themes, this is fall adjacent. Is it always completely giving fall? No, but it's fall adjacent. Cult of the Lamb is a roguelite cult simulator. So there's a lot of the roguelite elements, like half of the game, if not more, is you going into the dungeons and trying to progress there, but then you come back home and you cultivate your cult and you can like feed them certain things and teach them certain things and make them wear certain things, and you're really just like customizing your cult and farming, and there's this whole cozy cult management element to it. But similar to Voltaire the Vegan Vampire, there is that balance of like you do kind of have to go and do some slashing and dashing. So yeah, just depends if you like that, if you don't. Next is Hollow Knight. This is a super difficult platformer. Like I would not call this a cozy game at all because this is the type of game that makes me want to like throw my controller. But Hollow Knight is a platformer known to be like a little bit difficult. However, the vibes of it are so perfect for Halloween-y time, like October, November. You will feel so at home playing this game in October, but you do have to like a little bit of like challenging platforming. So keep that in mind for Hollow Knight. Our next category is Whispers of Fall. Whispers of Fall. Like I said, there's barely fall in there. It's just slightly there, but I promise it's kind of there if you squint. The first is Dwarf Romantic. This is only in the fall category because of the aesthetics of it. There's just parts of this game that are so orange and autumnal, and does that not just scream fall to you? It's a puzzle game. At the end of the day, it is a like hexagonal puzzle game, but I just love how orange and autumnal it is, and that's why it's in this category, and I won't explain any further. Next is Escape from Mistwood Mansion. This is a escape game / puzzle game. There's like a baby narrative to it, but not really. It's just like a fun escape puzzle game where you walk into this manor and are immediately locked into it, and you're looking around each room trying to figure out how to get out of that room and then eventually to get out of the mansion as a whole. Do you ever get out? Ooh, hopefully. But it's really fun. It's really fun. The puzzles aren't too hard and it's a little bit spooky. It's not really spooky. It's not really eerie, but it's just like it's got this little bit of a vibe where you're like, ooh, spooky mansion. There should be like cobwebs and ghosts. And some of the scenery is just like very, there's a library, a study with a fire blazing and a cup of tea, and it's definitely cozy, definitely autumnal in some ways, but again, just a whisper. Next is Hidden Through Time 2 Discovery. So this is a hidden picture game. Hidden Through Time 1 was a pure hidden picture game. Hidden Through Time 2, a hidden picture game with customization, like with level customization. You can create your own levels. You can play other people's created levels online, which gives you like endless levels to play, if there's always people online creating levels. So much customization in the hidden picture levels that you're creating. But there's also a bunch that you can play from the game itself. But there's specifically an era, and it is the Victorian era, that is so fall coded to me. It's giving like the Haunted Mansion, and there's like horses and horse-drawn carriages, and just if you know the Victorian era, you know that there's just a slightly like spooky fall element to it. You see Victorian era, you want it to be set in fall, you know? So that's the Whisper in Hidden Through Time 2. It's also just a super, super cozy game, especially if you love hidden picture. I feel like people don't talk about hidden picture games enough, but I'll be the one to do it. Hidden picture games are fun, okay? Next. Next is Tiny Glade. Tiny Glade is a sandbox building like scape creator. It's so beautiful. It's so detailed. I've been following the devs on TikTok for a long time, and I've been so excited for it to come out. And there's just something so cozy about this, where I think it fits for any season. And so it's just the coziness of it, the warm blanket wrapping you in pure idle fun, where you can just get lost in creating mountains and scapes and little elevations for sheeps to jump off of. It's just so cute. It's so charming. It will charm your dang pants off. If you like sandbox games, definitely give it a try. But I would consider like the pricing for this for the amount of gameplay. Like if you get bored really easily of sandbox games, I would like hold off on this. Again, look at gameplay, see how much gameplay you're getting out of it, see how much variety you're getting out of it. Because yeah, like I am someone who can get bored of sandbox, but I do just appreciate the absolute cozy cuteness of this game. So just keep that in mind. And last in this category is Tales of the Shire. Oh my gosh. I've had a chance to preview this game because I am a brand ambassador for the game because I love it so damn much. But this is a Hobbit themed cozy game where you are just bipping and bopping, dilly-dallying around the Shire, doing tasks for people. You can fish, you can build friendships, and then you can customize your house to like a T. There's no snapping, there's no grid. You can put things wherever you want. And the cooking is what makes this a Whispers of Fall game, because the cooking is so extensive and there's so many recipes and they're all so cozy, and there's like pies and there's so many things that are so autumnal. The cooking is what sets this off. Okay, I cannot wait to explore this more when it releases, but as of now we can just get excited about it, and it's coming out on like Switch and PC and everything, and so I just can't wait for everybody to be able to try this as well. I'm just simply so excited for it, and so excited for the customization you can do in your little hobbit hole. Okay, the next category is witchy. The first is Strange Horticulture, which is a botany simulator, like a botany shop simulator. Customers are coming to you in this town and like presenting a problem, presenting an ailment. They're like, my neighbor sucks, I want her to die. Or like, my cat is coughing. I don't know, things that you have a specific plant to give them that will solve the problem. There's a mystery throughout to kind of dig into. There's a cat you can pet, very witchy. There's like a puzzle element to figuring out which plants are which and which properties each plant has, and then you like label them specifically. You keep track so that you can manage the shop and get people their flowers and plants that they need. It's just so dang cute, and it's perfect for fall because witchy. Next is Witchy Life Story, which is aesthetically extremely fall coded. Just look at this, so fall coded. So aesthetically we're in there, right? And storyline wise, you're a witch and you can grow your resources in your backyard. It's like a very simple mechanic. It's not like actual farming. It's just like click to water and then click to harvest. So it's a very simple like resource growing mechanism. And then you have like an altar that you can customize and like tarot cards, and very similar to Strange Horticulture. Someone's coming to you with an issue, you're giving them something to solve it. And then there's like a storyline in it. And you're also like playing as a character that is going through her own stuff as like a teen witch. And it's very interesting to see see unfold. Next is Wildflowers, which is a farming sim that is witchy farming sim. And it's a really good one. It's voice acted, and I think it makes it so special and unique. Like whenever I recommend farming sims, this is always on the list because it's just so unique. It's so unique. There's like a beginning and end storyline to it, which I appreciate. They're always doing these updates, and just the team behind it seems very passionate and committed to it in a way that it's not money grabby. There's not like seasons and DLC and it's just like they're making updates to it because they love the game and they want to improve it and like want to add stories and things to it. And just, yeah, the voice acting goes crazy. Definitely try it if you're like, I need a new farming sim, but I don't want like just regular run of the mill. This is a good one to jump into. Next is Witchwood. This is like a almost fetch task-y resource gathering narrative adventure. I would say more adventure than narrative, but there is a narrative to it. There's like a beginning and end. You are a witch and you are completing tasks for people around this area that you're in. This one's a little bit more of like a brain off. You're running around to collect things. You're running around to complete tasks. I feel like the narrative isn't so involved where you're like, oh my gosh, I have to complete each thing. And I'm like hanging on by, you know, I like need to know what's happening. And it's not like the gameplay is that dynamic or engaging to where you're like doing so many different types of things all the time. You're just kind of doing fetch tasks and you're just going out to certain areas, finding resources, coming back, da, 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 da. But if you like that kind of thing, then this is perfect, and it's really great for fall because the art style is beautiful. I love the colors and witchy. Next is the Cosmic Wheel Sisterhood, which is a very, very narrative heavy game. You are an exiled witch, forced to be in exile away from everybody else, all the other witches, I suppose. You craft your own tarot deck and then you're trying to regain your own freedom. The main takeaway from this is like the characters will stick with you for a while. The characters are very well fleshed out, very well written. The story is there. So if you are looking for like a good story-based game for the fall that's a little witchy, perfect for Halloween, this is the one. Definitely dive into this. There's some mature themes, not like a light, happy one, but a very, very like touching, moving narrative. Okay, the next category is fall is a season, and this is games where everybody knows these games, but fall being a season in them, chef's kiss, like just so good. Like they ate with these fall seasons. Okay, first is Animal Crossing. I think it's definitely a toss up between the first two, which fall season is like the best of all the fall seasons in any game. But Animal Crossing fall, truly, nothing hits like Animal Crossing fall. You're getting events. You're getting Halloween events. You're getting acorns and pine cones. You're getting fall leaves falling from the sky. The color of the trees, the oranginess, the costumes that the villagers are wearing, the costumes you can get in the store, the pumpkins in the shop windows. Like everything is so cute, and you just want to escape away into this village, into this island, and just like actually be there in the cozy fall energy. And like Animal Crossing is just so wholesome. Like nothing goes wrong in Animal Crossing. It's just one of those games you can really escape away into. And I think it's especially fun to visit your Animal Crossing island in the fall and decorate it for the fall. So like if you haven't been back to your Animal Crossing island in a long time, definitely just decorate for fall and then leave it for the next fall. That's what I do with my island at this point. Not my new one, but my old one. And it makes me so happy to just like revisit it in the fall, and it's all decorated for fall, and I can appreciate it, and it's good stuff. Next is Stardew Valley. Now, herein lies the problem. How do you compare Animal Crossing Fall and Stardew Valley Fall? You can't. I love both, I think, equally. I don't know. But Stardew Valley Fall is just so good. The music for Stardew Valley Fall is so good. The colors, the trees, the falling leaves, the events, the fall events, the Halloween events. It's so good. It's so good. So fall is a season in Stardew Valley, and you should experience it at least once in your life. Okay. Next is Sims. Fall is the season. I would say it's especially potent in like the horse pack and the cottagecore pack when you're in those towns and you make a little fall home with like fall decorations. Sims doesn't have too many fall decorations. That's one thing I do side-eye them for. You kind of have to go get some CC, which is custom content. You can find it for free online. I always look at Pinterest. Pinterest has the best CC. At least the best CC search engine is Pinterest because it just pulls from everywhere. You do kind of have to find good fall CC to supplement the Sims fall stuff because they're just, I need them to release like a full fall decor pack at this point. Like it's not hitting as much as it should. However, fall being a season is so cute and so charming and so fun in Sims, and nothing beats being able to create like your own Hallmark movie in The Sims, or like your own fall barn or fall cottagecore house. Like it's just nothing beats actually being able to have your hand in creating every aspect of that. And I think that's so fun. It's so fun. Okay, the last category is eerie or scary. These are games that are a little spooky. Some of them aren't going to be cozy. Okay, so I don't want to hear yep in the comments. It's not cozy. Listen. Okay. I'm saying right now, I know it's not. Okay. But these are still perfect for fall. I think they're perfect for fall. And some people do consider them cozy. Deal with it. Okay. First, Little Nightmares. Oh my gosh. Little Nightmares 1, 2, and 3 is coming out. 3 is coming out, which has co-op. It's online co-op. And ooh, phenomenal. I got to try a little bit of it at PAX, and phenomenal. I'll take 14 of them. Okay. Little Nightmares is a platform adventure game with such a crazy story, like a crazy good story. You will be going through like the first half and just be like, this is so scary for no reason. Like, why am I doing this? It's so scary. What's the point of all this? And then the second half, you're like, oh, someone cooked here. Like there's something going on. There's something afoot and I've got to figure it out. And then through the end, you're just like jaw on the floor. Just story is so well done. I love the art style, even though it's so creepy and it like haunts your dreams. It's so good. And then also I will say I was terrified the first time I was playing it. Like I was playing it like this. I had to look up like someone else playing it so that I could see what was going to happen and then be able to actually play it. But once you do that, you're not scared of it anymore. Like once you see it happen, there's like a pattern to the enemies and you learn them and it's not scary anymore. So I will say that it's very learnable and it's not scary the whole time and all the time. But yeah, there's a 1, 2, and a 3. I recommend all of them. Next is Little Misfortune, which is, oh my God. I won't say too much, but it's one of my favorite games of all time. Favorite narrative games for sure of all time. Absolutely a spooky game. I would say it's not as scary, more spooky, but it's very lots and lots of trigger warnings here, lots of content warnings, lots of hard topics, but dealt with like a lot of whimsy somehow. And in my opinion, they do it tastefully. And I think it's just something you have to experience for yourself. Like I can't explain to you what's good about it. You just have to explain it for yourself. The main character is so hilarious and you'll immediately fall in love with Little Misfortune. You go through so much with her and it's just so good. It's so good. It's one of the games that has made me cry. It's happy, sad, funny. It's everything. Scary. It's everything. Please try it. Next is Franbo, which is by the same people that made Little Misfortune. And it's basically think Little Misfortune, but just like way worse. That's it. That's all I'll say. Way worse. Creepier, scarier, gorier. That's Franbo. Next is Oxenfree, both 1 and 2. This is a 2D adventure game with a story and a mystery. 2 different storylines completely, but like there's some Easter eggs and stuff from the first one and the second one. You're like dealing with the same general mystery. Really cool mechanics. In the second one, there's like a radio that you're interacting with in different ways. It is kind of creepy though. It's a little creepy. Like sometimes, I was jumping. I was like scared to pick up the radio. I was scared to like find the frequency on the radio to like hear what was coming in. It's very interesting. It brings in elements of like time and not time travel, but like skipping through different time periods. Definitely try them. Last, we have Dredge, which is a fishing simulator. It's more eerie, but I think it's really good for fall because the aesthetics of it, it's like very dark and it's, you know that song on TikTok that's like yo ho no. That's this game in a nutshell. Like that's all you need to know about this game. If you like fishing, if you like creepy things underwater, if you like interesting looking sea creatures, Dredge is definitely for you. Good old fishing simulator, but just on the creepy side, which I think is perfect for fall. Okay, y'all, those are all of my recommendations for fall. That's my whole roundup, my whole list. Thank you for listening to me. Yeah, like I said, always check for gameplay videos before you jump in and buy any of these based on my recommendation. Like this is just my personal roundup based on my personal research. Always check, always see if you're gonna like it because we all have different preferences. We all have different mechanics that we like in a game that other people don't. Yada. Always check. Just a good rule of thumb. And have so much fun playing these this fall. I hope you have a lovely cozy fall. I hope you have a little spooky Halloween, a little spooky October time. And I will see you on the next roundup or the next games I'm excited for or the next whatever it is. I will see you. I'm loving this little casual chit chat moment. So I will see you then. Bye. Love you. Stay cozy. Bye.